The thing is, you don't really need raised beds. You could just plant stuff in the ground like you see behind me here in our no-dig gardens. But Jesus does the raised bed give you a bit of comfort, because you don't really need to bend down to get to your crops. And it protects your crops from all of these animals like this fella. You wouldn't step in the plants, would you? What do you think about the raised bed? How are you doing? I'm Martin from Gardens for Life. In this video I'm going to show you these raised beds. If you've been watching for a while, you know that I'm not a big fan of raised beds because I think they're sort of unnecessary. But there is definitely some advantages to them, like you don't have to bend down and your plants are actually a little bit protected from those animals roaming your gardens, for example the dogs. In this video I'm going to show you this raised bed which vevor sent us, and we'd like to say thank you to vevor. I wouldn't take on making a video about a thing that I don't really advocate for unless I had seen it before on other YouTube channels, and they've been very fond of them. Especially this type of garden bed which is made of metal, and there's no need for expensive railway sleepers anymore. As you can see, I've already planted a few bits and pieces, mainly perennials because that's what we've got in the gardens. We haven't really started any annuals yet this year. I think it's quite a substantial growing space, and you can definitely have a lot of produce in it. Even if it's annual vegetables or just salads, you could even interplant some of those kitchen herbs and some flowers for the insects as well. They'll keep your garden balanced and healthy. If you'd like to buy one of these garden beds, you can click the link in the description below. We'd highly appreciate your support. And use our discount code BIRDLAND for 5% off. If you want to know more about the plants we used and the compost, stay tuned. We'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, I'll show you how the garden bed was made. Alright, so here's our garden bed. Lovely, look at that. You get some labels and some tiny gardening tools. It's a nice touch, and some gloves. I guess this is the string that goes all around the top. These are the corners and these are the braces. Straightforward enough. It comes with all of the screws and nuts, wing nuts. So this is what it's going to look like, and here's all the bits that are in it. Straightforward enough, but lots of little screws. So we'll get on with it. Lots of screws, definitely takes a while, but I find it fine even without the impact driver or drill. It can be as easy as that. You just put your wing nut here, and that's it. I also figured out that doing this sitting down is actually the easiest way to do it. But Jesus lads, there is a lot of screws on this thing. Holy Jesus, it's gonna be massive. Oh, so these are the cross members. So all you do then is, I figured, you just bend the top like that. See the way they kind of connect there, and that's it. And that makes it stronger, and that should keep the walls from bulging. What do you think, Levi? High five. Give us a high five. I tell you what though, this garden bed is massive. Look at it there, compared to the dog. Come here. Levi, sit. Stay. Now look at that. And you know Levi is not a small dog. Sun is going down now, and we better finish up. Alright, this is another day. It's been so drizzly, quite a lot of rain in the last 3 or 4 days. So we'll try and finish up this video here today. Take a look at the raised bed here. Please bear in mind that this has actually been covered, this area, with a sheet of plastic for about a month. So it wasn't quite long enough to smother the grass, but it'll do the job. Because we're going to cover this with a good thick layer of compost now, probably a foot worth of compost, just over the rails. I think the main thing is filling it up over time as you get your compost is a great way to manage it. So this is the compost here. I've strategically located our raised bed right beside our aged compost pile, so I don't have to move the compost too far by hand. We have another compost pile right over here. And this is fresher stuff, you can tell by the colour, and it's a bit more lumpy. So this one has only been delivered last week, and this pile here was delivered in September, so about 6 or 7 months ago. and it's definitely ready to go. Here comes the rain again. You a good fox dog. Foxy lady. She's in charge of our rodent population here. You too, I know. Mr. Jealous, aren't you? When it comes to compost, the first two questions people have is where do you get it from and is it organic? Basically, you can get it from any mushroom farm nearby you. The stuff we get is not organically certified, but we know it's good stuff. We've been using it for 25 years now, and the soil life approves too. After only a month or two, it's full of worms. Let's take a look. And look at that. If the soil life approves, we approve too. We feel it's safe enough. Even if your mushroom compost is not organic, I bet you what you grow in your own garden is going to be a lot better for you than the organic food for sale in the shops. It's just over half full now. I'm going to start planting it up. Let's choose some plants that we're going to throw into this raised bed. How about some Egyptian onions? Boom! An added advantage to raised beds is that it's actually given protection from the dogs. The dogs wouldn't just jump into it. At least these dogs I know wouldn't. You wouldn't do that, would you? But I think it's great. It'll give the plants in the garden bed extra protection. I love the colour of the garden bed. It's almost black, just like our compost, our dogs and our van. Those of you who know me aren't going to be surprised. I don't have very many annual vegetables to throw into this raised bed. What I'll do is I'll get a bunch of perennials. That's all I had. Perennials it is. The closest thing resembling a regular old vegetable is probably kale here. But that's actually perennial kale as well. We've got Egyptian walking onions, comfrey. This is a motherwort. This is a oriental poppy. This is a horseradish plant. We have a white miniature comfrey. And we have a few Dobbington kale and a few Taunton Dean kale. Mainly I'm planting them here because I really need to get more cuttings off of these. They almost all died on me during that cold winter. My 3 or 4 year old plants actually died. If anyone here has any spare Taunton Dean cuttings, I would highly appreciate it. I would reward you very well. We can do a swap. Let me know. Send me an email. This is lamb's ear, which is a flower. It has a lovely purple flower and it's medicinal. This is hops actually. It's a little bit cold out here for it, I imagine. But I only moved one of our new hops plants out. Let's see how it does here in this new raised bed. This is orphery. I dug it up with a good big root ball, so I think we'll be okay. This is a Belgian bulbous leek, and it actually makes these little bulbs, and they're really nice to eat. We have some more videos on a lot of these plants. This is a perennial borage, which is a flower. Great for the bees. And this is woodruff, sweet woodruff, used in flavouring or to flavour certain foods. This is ginger mint and some Triangularis oxalis. Very nice vegetable. This is a Apios plant. I'm going to try one outside and see how it goes. The rest of them will all be planted in the greenhouse. They usually do better in the greenhouse. If you've ever grown Apios outdoors in Ireland, please let me know. And let me know what county you're in, just to know roughly what kind of climate you have. But I haven't really had any success with Apios so far outside. Surprisingly enough, this is, I believe it's a mullein, and there's feverfew. And this is the raised bed. Do you think they'll all fit in here once they're fully grown? I'd say I could throw in a few more bits in between late May, just for those frost sensitive plants. We'll keep a little bit of space. I think it's going to be lovely. So there's two different planting methods. We could basically either group the plants or we could mix them. I like mixing them because if one plant doesn't do too well, the rest of them will fill in the space. Don't leave any space. Plant what you want, otherwise you get what you don't want, which is all of those so-called weeds flying all over the shop. Especially the old dandelion is well on its way. Yep, our dandelions are throwing seeds already, and this is only third week of April. Imagine that. I suppose I could plant things that I want to access more often towards the edge of the garden bed because I'll be able to reach them easier. And in the center, down along the middle of the garden bed here, I'm going to plant other plants that are really there just to attract the insects. And the insects will take care of our little garden and all of the plants in it. Especially the crop plants, like the kale for example. If it doesn't go to flower, the insects wouldn't be very interested in it. But they'll still keep it safe if they've been invited. By all of your flowering plants. I'm going to put the lamb's ear right at the edge here where the path is, because it'll be lovely to feel. And the sweet woodruff smells nice when you walk by. Plants like this can go in the middle because we're not going to have to access them very often. Only once in July. By the way, all of these leaves that have gone dry at the base of each of the plants, I'd leave them because they make for great habitat for the little critters, the insects and so on. I see we have a spider already here. She has moved in. This is the lamb's ear. Hold on, I think I know a quicker way. I tell you what, an 8x4 garden bed is quite big. It's a lot of growing space and you can grow a lot. Whether it's herbaceous perennials like kitchen herbs or medicinal herbs or just plain annual food plants. Even carrots would do really well in this. I might actually sow some carrot seeds so we can harvest them in the summer. I'm just going to improve the path here. Alright, that's better. What do you think, Nina? What do you think? That's a good girl. Nina's not on camera as often because the other fella usually gets jealous and she knows it. There he is. He has a distraction at the moment. You don't mind. Here's the other fella now. Who's getting cuddles here? Who was giving the cuddles? Mad dogs. Ah, she got the bone now. He doesn't seem to mind. No, Levi, no, excuse me. Oh, now he's sorry. All right, good boy. It looks fairly green already, but wait for another couple of weeks, maybe 4 to 6 weeks. And then I'll show you again. It's going to be filled out, I'd say. And by the end of May, I'll probably throw in maybe a couple of courgettes or that type of thing. Something that can trail over the edge of the garden bed. Especially the old strawberries. I might even make a little strawberry mound in one of the corners. You could do that and ideally have them hanging over the top. But I think that turned out just lovely. Thank you, Vevor, for sending us this garden bed. I first heard about these garden beds actually through Epic Gardening, but those weren't available in Europe. But then vevor came along and actually finally made it available to us here in Ireland and in the rest of Europe too, and in the US of course. But these type of raised beds, I think they're much better value than railway sleepers, and they're mobile. You could probably actually remove the garden bed. Maybe you remove one side, and then you could lift the whole garden bed up without the compost, if compost would stay. And then you could move your raised bed if you wanted to. I think I'll do a more detailed video on the pros and cons of raised beds. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see that. And for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you the next time. I reckon the only two downsides to raised beds really is that you have to invest a bit of money up front, but also that the plants on the edges actually can dry out a little bit quicker than the ones in the middle. So just treat your raised bed as a giant window box that's connected to the ground. If you'd like to buy one of these garden beds, you can click the link in the description below. We'd highly appreciate your support. And use our discount code BIRDLAND for 5% off. So in the summer we might have to water this a little bit, at least along the edges. During the hotter months, if we get them at all. I reckon we've probably had our summer here, but that's an awful pessimistic thing to say. Don't worry, the summer will be back. Sure, it's another 2 or 3 months before the summer is even in full swing. Surely it'll come back, and we'll reach temperatures beyond 20 degrees Celsius. That'll be lovely. Now they're tired. Hello. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? No, don't lick the microphone. Oh, he's sorry now. How are you doing, Levi? How are you doing? You all right? Why are you lying down like that? What are you up to?